What it do, my people, man? What it do? It's your boy King Crowder back again with another edition of Live on Wednesday. Normally I do it on Sunday, but this past Sunday, y'all had that virus and that bug. I was so sick and I was not feeling well. So the topic I still wanted to discuss, I'm gonna dive into it next Sunday. But I think tonight's subject, man, is something I think really need to be discussed. The reason why I think this hip hop staying power subject is so prevalent and relevant today is because number one, hip hop is still the number one genre in America. United States of America, North America, South America. Hip hop is the top genre created by Black Americans. But I think it's so much things that we don't know. Why do we not see that staying power in hip hop? And I want to just give a breakdown quickly. Why don't we see that lasting staying power that we don't see anymore? The number one reason why we don't see that lasting staying power in hip hop no more is everybody try to recreate and redevelop the same sound. What do I mean by that? When an artist pops, instead of people leaning into where their sound, their culture is, they try to remake themselves to what's popping right now. I can't tell you how many artists I hear that sound like the artist Lil Baby. Love Lil Baby's music, love his style, love his flow. And he's a newer artist, right? And you hear so many artists sound like a tier of him, which people you don't see as much as themselves in a different form. Right now, the problem that hip hop has, that disco had, you know me, I love my history, right? If you look back through history, you see music go through peaks and valleys like this. People don't realize that the disco era was a huge art form at one point. Disco era is like Afro beats to me. They are good vibes, good energy, but the meaningful and impact for the music is not there. Hip hop is starting to go towards that trajectory now. What we're starting to see is that so much music is literally recycled and sounds like one another. So when you hear people say you don't hear that staying power in hip hop, what they are saying is that you don't see that influence, that consciousness, that mindful nature. Because most people don't realize that hip hop has 5 elements. You have the b-boy dancing, which is always an element, right? Remember all the dance moves, all the songs, all the culture we see growing up. That is a part of hip hop. You have DJing, a DJ being on the microphone, scratching the records, the ones and two. That is a second form of hip hop and artistry, as we see. The third form you see is graphic designs. Think about graffiti, thinking about different things you see as expressing yourself. Every generation of hip hop that we see has its own version. Young Jeezy had the Snowman. James Brown had the Lyrical News. NWA had his NWA logos. Whenever you think about a cultural movement in impactful form, you will see that in hip hop. The last 2 elements right now, hip hop is suffering from not having most of. Number one, lyricism. What do I mean by that? You have people that actually take time to make sure the words have impacts and meanings, not just trendy, not just dancey, actual having meaning when they say something. When artists had lyricism, that means it took artwork and time to develop that song. When you heard that song, you had to hear it and listen to it at least 3 or 4 times before you understood the meaning of something. And the last and most important method of hip hop that is missing is consciousness. Most people have no idea that hip hop is rooted in politics. Everything about music, y'all, is political. And the one thing that you can see so big now, no one talks about politics in hip hop. You notice that? There is no critiquing of the police, the president, or any political factions. Everybody stays neutral. Hip hop, Tupac was very strong politically. Biggie stayed neutral. Any artist that stays neutral over a long period of time tends to be more vanilla and try not to go against anyone. I want you to think about something, for example. Any comedian that is edgy is very controversial. Dave Chappelle is a great comedian, but the topics he talks about are very controversial. Trans, LGBT, Israel, the Palestinian. Dave Chappelle goes at topics that are uncomfortable to talk about. In your present day of hip hop, let's forget about the older generation. J. Cole and them touch topics. Tell me the time when you hear Drake touch a political or touchy topic. Tell me about the time of any artist that is under the age of 30 that has a political or touchy topic. They don't. They all stay surface level, club level, local level, nothing that is impactful. That is one of the largest segments of hip hop that is currently missing. Hip hop is missing that edgy nature. Even though there was the gang and stuff back in the day, you still had majority of the artists talking about political issues. You hear no songs ever to this day about Trayvon Martin. You hear no songs ever about the police brutality. You hear no songs ever about cleansing, history, or anything going on. Right now in this country, they are trying to turn hip hop, which is a conscious, very upbeat political platform, into what Afrobeats is, which is friendly, good vibes, not having a strong meaning or impact on what they're saying. That is the type of music. Oh, that's true right there, man. By Quick Fry. He is absolutely true. Hip hop died in the early 90s because of that. Because everything right now is very degrading. You don't talk about touchy subjects. You don't talk about anything that has a lasting impact. You stay vanilla and surface level. Everybody got to stay that way. And think about it. When you talk about politics into this day, into this current moment, you are shunned upon. Anybody that talks locally about anything that's important, you notice that most people say, man, I ain't trying to hear that stuff right now. Man, this subject right now, why we got to go deep about politics? You are literally have people, no matter their age, that are trained to hear that and go against it immediately. When you talk about anything that has to do with activism, politics, anything serious, people are scared to discuss it. And like I love to mention, y'all, not critiquing the younger artists, because I understand they're young men trying to get money, which is absolutely nothing wrong with that. But when you look at any artist right now that we're speaking of, tell me the last time you've heard them speak on anything politically in their community. Not the ops, not who they beefing with, not somebody's baby mama, not who they was doing this and that with. When have you heard them talk about anything politically, historically, anything? When the great Nipsey Hussle left, who was a very much an inspiration to me, name me the West Coast artist that actually dissed Shitty Cuz. Name it. We have a culture right now that is literally scared to be talked about. I don't know why people are so fearful to talk about these things. I feel like when you have those type of conversations, people want to talk about it. And right now, that is the rub and the issue we have. We're missing that fifth element in hip hop. The fourth with lyricism, but the fifth of consciousness is definitely gone. And that's where we see that issue is. Right now, we are in a disco era. We're really phasing out, and it's really going away from that love and impact that it once had. And until we can recreate that sound, recreate that energy, we will see the downfall of hip hop. Right now, we're currently seeing it. It's on a decline. Only way we can save it is people, the newer artists, have to touch local issues. If they don't in the next 5 or 6 years, I will say that art form will not be around, y'all. I know it's controversial as hip hop lovers as we are. If it does not change in the next 5 years, the sound will go away. Because once something becomes too corporate, we love corporate America, right? Some of it. Sometimes I got mixed feelings about it, right? We love corporate America for certain things. But as far as authenticity, as far as new wave, as far as new energy, they don't have that. Corporate is for consistency, accuracy, and making sure the thing comes through every time. Corporate cannot recreate sounds. Corporate cannot recreate new movements. Corporate cannot redevelop new talent. They can't do that. So if the artistry wants to get back to where it was, you have to go back to its ground roots. You have to go back to its ground elements. That's my rant about hip hop, that I think that is the main issue we see about staying power, what we see about the music, about the culture. And this ain't the downplay no artists that got going on right now. But what I'm saying is that right now, if you are a hip hop junkie, like many of us are, it is a young person's form of music. What do I mean by that? If you are a certain age, you can listen to it. But anybody that's older, that has grown with their music, you don't see any of that trajectory. You literally hear them talk about club, safe, ops, let's stay there. But if you're in Chicago, you don't hear them talk about the immigration thing. If you're in Houston, you don't hear them talk about the gun barrels we see on the street. If you're in New York, you don't see them talk about the political candidates and money being gone away. You don't see that. It is all surface level. It is all corporatized. It is all remain safe. And I hate to quote this person, y'all, but it's so true. Sorry about being sick. I'm over here sneezing. Forgive me, y'all. You know I can't miss my people. DJ Vlad said something very powerful recently. Drake and DJ Khaled are the biggest Israel and the biggest Palestinian hip hop artists in the world. Neither one of them wanted to speak on that issue going on right now. But if Tupac was here, he would have spoke on it. No matter if you love, hate, or dislike Vlad, he was absolutely correct with that statement. That is true, man. My man's on fire right now. You also don't hear the love no more. But all of that comes from right now, the love, the truth. Shout out to my dogs for saying that. What you don't hear most of the time, y'all, you don't hear anybody standing up and make authenticity music. Most people don't like to hear this. Corporate America is for consistency, y'all. Remember, consistency. They will produce music coming out every year. I didn't say quality. I didn't say real elements. I didn't say new and flavorful. I'm saying they are for consistency. So right now there are no local level record labels anymore. There ain't no Limit Records. You got Cash Money. You don't have MMG. You don't have Slip and Slide. You don't have those local record labels that are producing that local talent and making sure that local quality music is being produced. So every one of these gentlemen that's producing these comments right now are 1,000% correct. We don't have that energy. We don't have that flavor. We do not have that juice that we once had. And for us, all hip hop lovers, to go back to staying power, we need more local activity, y'all. We need no more political activism. We need the elements of hip hop to be shown. And we also need to be able to have these uncomfortable conversations. So I just want to come in here quick to give my take on it, man, because this staying power conversation is such a deep one. And I definitely think all of us should speak on it. If you want to stay in power in hip hop, we need to make sure that elements are known. That is lyricism, DJing, breakdancing, artistry, and let's not forget the fifth and most powerful element. That's consciousness. If they're not in hip hop and they continue to move through, only can do 3 out of the 2, the genre will not last in the next 5 years. My bold prediction, I'm throwing it out there early. I don't mean to let anybody down, but it's your boy checking out. Until next time, I had to come in quick for a live on Wednesday. Make sure you subscribe, like, comment to the channel. Thank all my people, man, for showing me love. I'm here to show love to D. Make sure we stand on business and make sure we keep talking about these topics. And it's your boy checking out. Until next time, peace.